You walk out of the theater. The bass from Billie Jean is still buzzing in your ears. Your eyes are blinded by the memory of the laser projection, and your head is completely empty, like a broke college student's fridge. Technically, it was an orgasm. Emotionally, a date with a handsome narcissist who spent an hour and a half talking only about himself and never took off his sunglasses. Welcome to the world of the most expensive and most hollow biopic of the year. First, the good stuff. What the IMAX Premium experience does with this movie is a legal way to feel like a god who just hit the boost everything button. 4K HDR laser projection on a massive screen means every single shimmer on Michael's glove feels like a punch to the gut. The dark scenes no longer look like they were shot on a potato in a basement. The picture is so crisp, you can literally count the pores on Jaafar Jackson's nose and realize, damn, he looks like his uncle. It's uncanny. And Dolby Atmos? That's not sound. That's a surgical strike directly to your eardrums. You don't just hear the music, you live inside a meticulously engineered mix where every clap, every breath, and every single Shimon flies over your head, dives behind your back, and resurfaces from your left ear with the grace of a dolphin. In this format, the movie works like a cuckoo clock, where the cuckoo is the king of pop himself, dutifully popping out every hour. The production design from the late 60s to the early 80s is crafted with the kind of love that makes you want to cry. The costumes, the cars, the interiors, everything breathes the dust of vinyl and the smell of vintage hairspray. It's clear that the people working on this hate green screens as much as I hate LA gridlock. And Jaafar Jackson, holy hell, this kid moves like his spine was assembled from mattress springs. The walk, the tilt of the fedora, that signature finger snap. It's like he stole his relative's soul and is dancing in it like a pair of brand new loafers. Stage presence? Check. Charisma? Check. But here's the catch. That's all there is. Because next comes the elephant in the china shop. The plot of this movie is like ordering a ribeye steak and being served a beautifully photoshopped plate of French fries with a note saying, "Your meat dinner could have been here." This isn't a biopic. This is a musical fireworks display pretending to be a drama. Or to be precise, it's Bohemian Rhapsody after a lobotomy, a patchwork quilt of hits interrupted by family drama on the level of a cheap soap opera. Where is the conflict with Sony? Where is the crushing public lynching when the name of the best-selling artist in the world became synonymous with God knows what? Poof. Mentioned in passing like a mosquito at a picnic and brushed off. Drugs? Oh, right, a couple of frames with pills so the grandmas in the theater can sigh, poor boy. Personal life? Never heard of her. The kids, the romances, the isolation from reality when you live in Neverland, surrounded by deer and your own paranoia? Leave that for Wikipedia. The movie chickens out and hits the brakes right before the most explosive, controversial, and complex part of his life. That's like telling the story of the Titanic and stopping at the moment they say, "Wow, look at that beautiful iceberg." And here's the ultimate betrayal. For a movie about a man who literally built modern pop music, the people who actually made that music are completely absent. Where is Jeff Porcaro, whose drums on Beat It still sound like a slap in the face of time? Where is Steve Lukather, Eddie Van Halen with his solo that millions of kids learned by heart? Where are Greg Phillinganes, Jonathan Moffat, Ricky Lawson? These guys engineered the sound. They weren't just session musicians. They were the architects of the soundtrack to an entire generation's childhood. But they aren't in the movie. Just like there is no "We Are the World." Just like there is no real conversation about Princess Diana, Elizabeth Taylor, or Diana Ross. Without these people, it is impossible to understand Michael's scale and his loneliness. But the screenwriter apparently couldn't be bothered to Google for longer than 5 minutes. This isn't history. This is a theme park ride called "Look How Cool We Directed This Concert." And this brings us to the main disappointment. A project like this required an obsessive madman in the director's chair, someone who is obsessed with digging through the dirt and the glitter simultaneously. John Landis, who already directed Michael and knows exactly where it hurts. Anton Corbijn, who can drag a black and white soul out of any portrait. Instead, we got Antoine Fuqua in, yeah, good enough mode. It's soulless, albeit beautiful direction, where close-ups are the only attempt to look inside, but inside, there's just another close-up. It's a movie that simultaneously promises you everything and gives you nothing. It's like listening to Michael's greatest hits back-to-back at a party where nobody gives a damn about how these songs were born out of agony, insomnia, and scandals. Yes, you will leave the theater humming Man in the Mirror. Yes, you will cry during I'll Be There if you have a pulse. But 2 hours later, you'll realize you didn't learn a single new thing about Michael Jackson. You came for the truth, and they showed you a glossy family photo album where everyone is smiling, and Dad was just strict. This is a beat without the bass, a dancer without a shadow. This is an IMAX format screaming in every frame, "Look what I can do!" while the movie whispers back, "But I don't want to." A biopic about one of the most controversial, brilliant monsters of pop culture, made so sterile you want to wash your hands after the credits roll. You will love the first 2/3. You will hate the final third for its absolute spinelessness. The verdict? Technically, bravo. Emotionally, why did you even make this? Michael is a beautiful, expensive, squeaky-clean mausoleum where instead of a body, there is a mirror. You look into it and see nothing but your own expectations. Meanwhile, the king of pop himself remains somewhere off camera, tiredly adjusting his glove, wishing they would finally leave him alone, or at least show him for real. You want honesty? Go watch his live concert tapes, because this is just a very expensive postcard that reads, "Nothing personal."